So, in the last module, including the demonstration, we have learned about packages in Java. Now, there are two things in Java which makes the Java programming a unique is package and interface, and this is why the Java programming is basically more popular compared to the other programming languages, in particular to build very large and complex software. So, today we will discuss about the concept of interface. In today and in the next module, actually the things needs to lectures hours to discuss to complete the discussion. So, we will take the 2 modules to complete it. Anyway, today we have some basic concept of interface, and then some other concepts also will be discussed in the next module. Anyway, so let us start about interface, but before going to take the lesson about the interface, we want to start with the abstract class. The abstract class concept we have already discussed while we are discussing about inheritance. So, a class can be declared as an abstract class, as we know, by defining the keyword abstract. Now, let us consider a very simple example. This example is, say, we declare a class, say geometry, as an abstract class, and then we want to have some classes inherited from this abstract class, namely circle, rectangle and ellipse. Here geometry basically says that a set of objects, geometrical objects rather, and then there are different special objects belong to these all geometrical objects, namely circle, rectangle and ellipse. Now, let us have a quick look about how such an implementation can be done in Java using the concept of abstract class. So, here we can see we built an abstract class, namely class geometry here, and then we put this class in a package. The name of the package, as we see, my shape is the package, and under this package, so this class, abstract class, is defined by these 3 members. One is pi, declared as a static and final, and then area and circumference are the 2 abstract methods that we have discussed. As you know, an abstract class can contain both abstract methods as well as non abstract method. In this example, we include only 2 abstract methods here. So, they are declared as a public abstract double area, public abstract double circumference. So, this is the declaration of an abstract class. Now, what is our objective is that our objective is to create the other classes which can be inherited from this abstract class. So, here is the one code, what we can see here, the circle class, which basically inherited from the superclass geometry. It has the constructors of its own. Here is the default constructors, and there is another constructors with only one arguments. So, the 2 constructors, we define the method area here, and then the method circumference, and some method which is unique in this class itself. As we see, these are the 2 methods are the implementation of the method, abstract method which is there. So, whenever some abstract methods are there in abstract class, it is the responsibility of the programmer to implement it fully. If you do not implement, then you will not be able to create any object of this class that you have created just now. Anyway, so this completes the creation of the class circle, which is an inheritance from the class abstract class. Now, after this class is over, our next is that how the ellipse class can be again inherited from this abstract class. So, we are going to inherit the 3 classes from the abstract class, namely circle, and now we are going to discuss about this is the circle class, and next is it is an inheritance from the circle class, another is called the rectangle class. So, this class has this kind of form we see this is the one member that is declared as a protected, that means this L and W will be accessible to its inherited class, and these are the method, the constructor in this case, and this is the another constructors with the two arguments to be passed, this is the default constructor and this is the special constructor. So, this is the class declaration, and as we see here, this is basically inheritance from the geometry class. So, it is an inheritance of the geometry as a rectangle class. Now, next class that we are going to discuss about, this class has some other methods which is not put into here. So, this is the other methods as we see, area which is again declared an abstract in inheritance. So, it is defined here for this class, and this is the circumference which is for this class, it is the redefinition, and these are the two methods of its own, that is the special to this class. So, this completes the declaration of the class rectangle, which is an inheritance of the class geometry. Now, our next class is an example, this is the ellipse. So, we again derive the ellipse class inheriting from the geometry. It has the methods like this, and it is another constructor. There are few more things are also here. So, this is basically the completes the declaration of this class. As we see here, area is redefined for this class, circumference, and the two methods that is of its own. Anyway, so we have a full what is called the declarations of three classes, namely circle, rectangle and ellipse, which are derived classes from the superclass geometry here, and the geometry class in this case is an abstract class. Now, after this definition of these three classes are there, then we are now in a position to create the object of these classes. Now, let us see how we can create the object of these classes. So, here is the one application program that is basically the contain the main class, so that we can create the objects of the classes that we have defined. Now, we give the name of this class as geodemo, and you can see all these classes that we have declared, we have stored them in the package form, and the name of the package is MyShape. So, we have to import all the classes that we have stored in the package MyShape, and this is the import statement. Now, so this is the main program. As we see, we create a geo objects of this abstract class here. So, this is basically container. We can say geo object is a container which holds the different objects of type geometry like this. Now, then we create three different objects of three different classes like circle, rectangle, ellipse, and we store all these geo objects into this container like this one. So, it is basically an array of geo objects we can say. So, this is stored. Now, let us see how we can process. So, suppose whatever the objects that we have created, in this case we have created three objects with these are the different parameter passed to the objects, and we want to create the total area consumed by all three objects that is there. So, we can have a very simple for loop. So, we can create the total area, this is the total area is the sum of all the areas of the objects, this is the n, and then it will print. Now, here we can think it looks very simple. What we have done? We have created an abstract class. For this abstract class, we have derived three subclasses, namely circle, ellipse, and then we store these things in an application and then use them, process them. Now, here few things very important to note in this here. Now, geo objects dot area. So, for if you do not think about this code, now only this code. Now, geo objects I dot area. So, whenever the loop will roll, it will basically bind itself that which area corresponding to which object. Now, whenever I equals to 0, this area will bind to the circle objects. Whenever I equals to 1, this area will bind to the rectangle object. Whenever I equals to 2, this area will bind to the ellipse object. So, geo objects I, and it is just automatically binding with the corresponding object. This is an example is called dynamic binding, or it is also called runtime polymorphism, because this geometric object polymorphically work for any area irrespective of the type of the object it is. Now, so this is one very good example of usage of the abstract class so far we have used earlier. Now, like this type of concept, we are now going to discuss about other things. So, okay, fine, this way we can see from the geometry object we have derived 3 classes, but this derived by means of single inheritance. But in some situations we have to have the concept of multiple inheritance. Now, how this concept it is there. Now, regarding abstract class and everything, as we have discussed this thing, that those things are already discussed. So, I do not want to repeat it. Okay, fine. So, abstract method is automatically abstract itself, and then if a class may be declared as an abstract even if it has no abstract method also. This prevents it from being instantiated. Now, here instantiation, regarding this instantiation we will discuss it details, and then we should have a good demo on it, so that you will be able to understand it. And a subclass of an abstract class can be instantiated if it overrides each of the abstract methods of its superclass, otherwise the subclass object cannot be created. That is what I want to say here. And here is basically if a subclass of an abstract class does not implement all the abstract method which is declared there in the abstract class, then the subclass itself created as an abstract, because we cannot create any object of that abstract. So, these are the few properties of the abstract class it has hold. Anyway, now let us see about the concept, that is the multiple inheritance is our objective. Then how the multiple inheritance is possible? The concept of multiple inheritance is like this. Say suppose circle object should have characteristics from the geometry object that we have discussed. Now, in addition to this, it will create some other characteristics from the some other classes which are defined there in the draw shape. So, suppose we want to create the circle with different what is called the colors, with different shading, with different zooms, like this one. All these things suppose it is defined in this draw shape method. This means we want to define one circle which take the advantage of both the geometry classes that we have already learned, and then also in addition to draw circle. So, this is the concept, that if we able to do, that means if we able to inherit the characteristics from 2 or more classes, then it is not a single inheritance, it is called the multiple inheritance. However, Java does not support any multiple inheritance. Then how we can achieve these things? So, there is an alternative way of doing these things. This is possible using an interface. Now, so here is the task is that what exactly an interface it is. So, we are going to discuss about the interface. In fact, I have started this discussion with giving an introduction, discussion on abstract class. This is because we will learn about that. Interface and abstract class is in many way very similar. It is very difficult to find a difference between the two, but the difference is that abstract class allow only single inheritance, whereas the interface, which is very similar to abstract class, but it supports multiple inheritance. So, this is the key difference between the abstract class and then interface in Java. Now, let us have a full concept of the inheritance, multiple inheritance rather, and the interface. As I told you, so an interface is basically very similar to a class. It is very similar to an abstract class more specifically. This means that like classes, an interface can contain members and methods. However, the difference between the class and interface is that in case of interface, all members are final and all methods are abstract. There should not be any members which is non-final and any method which is non-abstract. Now, this is the difference between the class and then interface, whereas if you see the class, abstract class and then interface, as you have already learned that the members should be final, and then abstract even can contain abstract class method as well non-abstract method. This is also on difference between the abstract class and interface concept. And another thing is that for both abstract class and interface, no object can be instantiated. So, this is the similar this thing. In that sense, the two things are similar. So, difference is like this and then similarity is also like this. Okay, so, this is the concept of interface in a very broad sense. Now, let us have the more detailed concept about it. as we have already discussed what exactly an abstract class is, or rather what exactly an interface is. Now, as you see, so what is the usage of abstract class or interface if you cannot instantiate an object, if you not build an object of that class? What is the use of it? Actually, all abstract class or an interface in Java basically gives a template for a class, a framework for a class. So, it basically gives a profile or a view that how a class that you should have if you want to create your own program, if you follow the concept according to the abstract class and interface. So, abstract class and interface gives a concept, rather it gives a protocol of behavior that should be implemented by your Java programs that you want to develop it. So, it gives basically rule of thumb about creating your own class, taking the rule from the abstract class or interface. This is the concept, and as I have already told you, an interface defines a set of methods, but does not implement them because they are declared as an abstract. It is just like a abstract class also, and a class should implement that methods which is declared there as an abstract method in interface. That means, interface is a structure, and then if you want to create a class with the support of interface, then it is the responsibility of that class to implement. That means, clearly define all the method that is there in that function. And as you have already told you, all methods those are there in an interface, they should be declared as a public and abstract, and by default if you do not declare any access specification, then it will be considered as a public and abstract, and otherwise okay. So, it is a thing, and then static methods cannot be declared in an interface. So, that is a one important restriction so far the thing is concerned therein, but however, in abstract class also you can declare a static method as well as. Anyway, so interface, it is like this, all methods should be abstract, more clearly all methods should be public and abstract, and no static method should be declared there. However, members are concerned, they should be declared public, final and also static. So, these are the things that is required. So far the interface is concerns are there. Now, how an interface can be created? So, in order to create an interface, Java provides a keyword, it is called the interface keyword. So, it is just similar to like abstract class, to create an abstract class we use the keyword abstract. So, it is like this, but there are syntactically few more things are different that we should discuss about it. Now, here is an example. So, you can see we have declared an interface, the name of the interface is call me. So, interface keyword followed by the name of the interface, and as it is similar to the declaration of class within the curly brackets, and then inside this, as we see here, it contains one method, void call int p and then semicolon. As you see, after the method declaration, immediately there is a semicolon. This means that this method does not have any definition, any body, any code. So, this means that this is an abstract method, and again I told you that as it is default that this method is a public and abstract. So, we do not have to specify any keywords explicitly, even if I do not do it. So, the compiler will understand that this call method is a public and abstract, that means any class can implement this interface. So, this is the syntax for declaring an interface. Now, regarding interface, if you have an interface, using that interface you can build any class from that interface. That means, here for example, interface is a class, here we see interface is your define one interface, then this class 1 and then class 2 are the two implementation of this interface in the two different ways, two different codes, two different programs. Now, so this is the one idea about it. Likewise, here if you see, if you have two or more interfaces like say interface 1, interface 2, interface 3, right, then a class you can plan or you can create, you can build, so that it can implement all this interface. Now, you can see this is just like inheritance, that means this class inherit from this, all the methods, all the variables that is declared here, it will be inherited here, it will be inherited here or like this one. So, it is just like a multiple inheritance look like, that is the multiple inheritance concept. In Java it is coming on the way that if it is interface you can do it, but if it is a abstract class you cannot do that. Okay. All these things should not be abstract class or any class rather. Okay. So, this is the idea about that. Okay, we will discuss more about the multiple inheritance in Java using the interface in due time. Now, let us have an example quickly, so that you can understand about the concept of interface more clearly. As we see here, so this is a structure as you can see, and let this structure be interface. Now, in this structure what we have defined? We have defined two methods, draw and resize. They basically the method declaration, but not the body. This means that all these methods are basically structure, a framework, a basically template, a protocol. So, this is the interface suppose, and then we can create our own class, namely circle here, which basically implement draw and resize method, which is defined there. Now, it also can implement for the objects line. So, different methods draw and this one, that means here the circle and line or rectangle, if you see the draw method here in circle or line or draw, they are the different way of implementation. So, that is why the different implementation we can say. So, this way what we can understand is that, so three different implementations, but it follow the template or protocol that is given their interface. So, this way the interface is coming into the way that we can use it. Now, further if it is a class, now this class can be used normal class like. So, from this class we can inherit some other class also with some other method overriding whatever it is there. So, all these things are quite possible, makes it more flexible, more versatile, and write any way whatever you want actually. Anyway, so this is the idea about that. If you have an interface, it gives you a structure, so that you can follow this structure to create the similar type of objects, similar what is called the type of objects rather, okay, and then we can use this in our program. Now, so this is the concept that is there, and we have a good example, so that you can understand about it. Now, before going to have the full code about the interface and everything, let us have briefly again summarize regarding the interface and its characteristics. As we have discussed, the interface must be declared with the keyword interface. All interface methods are implicitly public and abstract, that I have already told you, because you no need to mention explicitly. All variables those are there in an interface should be public, static and final. This is obvious. This means that the variables those are there in an interface, they should be treated as a constant. No class, any method in other class which basically implements an interface cannot change their values. And interface methods must not be static, no static method in an interface is allowed. And because interface methods are abstract, they cannot be marked final. So, you cannot do it, because this needs to be implemented or defined in any other class which implements it. So, they should not be final. Then all methods are abstract, but not final, and you can find a note that these are the difference between your abstract class and this interface class again. Now, okay, in addition to these, an interface class can extend one or more other interfaces we have already discussed about. An interface cannot implement another interface or class, that is not possible. So, interface only a class can implement it, but the reverse is not possible actually, and interface types can be used polymorphically. So, this is the concept is that an interface, if it is there is a type, then this type can runtimely bind. In the example of abstract class we have shown that circle, ellipse and then rectangle, how dynamically or runtime or polymorphically bind with the method called area like this one. So, it is like this. Okay. So, now here is a quick syntactical structure about how the interface should be declared in a program. Now, so this is the syntax that you can see. The interface should be declared with the interface keyword, the name of the interface, and these are the option. An interface can extend any other interface. So, these are the name one and everything, but this is the interface, not the class actually. Anyway, and these are the variable declaration. As you have declared, all these variables should be declared static, final and abstract as well as, and then these are the public, static and final, and these are the method abstract and abstract method, public abstract method. So, these are the methods. Now, so this is basically an example how a variable or a member in an interface look like, and this value once it is assigned, it will remain this, you cannot change it because it is a static. And then this is a return type, that is basically only you can see the semicolon, no body it is here after this declaration, that means this method is declared as an abstract method, and as it is a public also, keyword is by default it is there. Okay, so this is the idea about how we can create our interface in a program, the syntax that we have discussed it, and it is an example. So, an item is an interface declaration, it has the variable, this is the variable which is declared static final, and this is the one another variable static final, and this is the one method that we have discussed there. Okay, so this is the one example that we can understand about how it can be used to create an interface. Okay. Now, this is another example. So, we can declare here template and interface, a similar kind of thing. So, it is basically template, and using this interface we can create class. Here we can see in this example interface, this is the name of the interface is curves, and then extends circle and ellipse. That means, here the curve is an interface which basically extends circle and ellipse types. That means, these curves will include all the features which are there in both circle and interface, and in addition to this it has method, all these things like this. Now, so basic syntax that after one interface is created, how it can be utilized in our program. So, it is the concept here that how interface can be used. So, we can declare a class name which basically extends this one and implements the interface. So, there is basically a class can extend some other class as well as it implements. So, it is option. So, this way a class one interface, if it is defined, then it can be used subsequently in the program. Now, here is a quick example. This is a very nice example to understand the concept of the interface. It is in the same line as the abstract class example that we have discussed earlier. Now, here you can see this is an interface structure, as you know it has these are the members static, final, abstract, and these are the method abstract and public, and we want to create three type of object like circle, ellipse and rectangle using this concept interface. Now, let us have the quick look of this how it is possible, a good program is there. Now, here we can give the name of that interface as a geo analyzer. This has the methods as we have discussed, and circle, here you can see this circle implements geo analyzer, and this implementation means it will implement this method, it implement this method. So, this is the constructor is automatically for this class, we have to do it, and this is the implementation of this area, and this is the implementation of this area. So, this completes the usage of interface in order to implement the circle. Similarly, likewise we can create another class for the geometrical object like ellipse. So, this is the similar way of creating the class object ellipse, and this is the implementation of rectangle. Now, we can understand that using the interface and the implements, it is not extends. You can see in case of abstract class we may use extends, that means derived class, but here actually implementation of the interface, which is an totally an abstract concept, and then we can have this kind of objects created. Now, once this kind of object is created, we can create the objects in our own method. It is very similar to the abstract class concept. In the same line we can see let this is the one class that we have declared as a main class. Name of the main class is geometry. It obviously input all the classes that we have created earlier. So, if they are put in a package. Now, after these things we create one method which is a special method in this class, let display. It basically x and y value will display, it is like this. Now, let us see the main method that we have declared here. So, this main method create the 3 objects circle, ellipse, they stored in this objects form, and then we create one what is called the, it is not an instantiation, we just create, we declare, we define an object of type GeoAnalyzer, that means it is a interface type. GeoAnalyzer is an interface in our example. So, here we see the geo item and interface item basically we have created. Now, here once the circle C is created, we can assign this one, that means geo item now point to C, that means circle, and then the display method which is declared here can be called. You see, whatever be the object, the display method look like the same thing, right. If you do not look about this one and this one, display method is basically irrespective of the circle, rectangle, ellipse, it basically work the same. So, this is again the concept, it is called the dynamically binding or is a polymorphically runtime polymorphically binding it is. Now, what you can say is that whatever be the object it is there, their area and perimeter can be utilized in this program. So, this is the idea about, we have learned about that how the interface concept can be used to build class and therefore, subsequently build the Java program. The same way the idea can be extended for the other, this is another example that you can consider. Now, inheritance with interface, as I told you, an interface also can be used to extend other interface. So, this is the one example that inheritance, it is the same concept as class, that means interface can be treated as a class, so far the inheritance is concerned. Interface, as you see here, the interface is interface chemistry extend this one, that means this is the interface used to extend the constant, where constant is an interface. So, this is an interface, and here you can see this interface extends, interface creates another interface chemistry inheriting the constant interface. Here we can see interface create another interface law of physics inheriting the interfaces, those are constant and physics. So, it is the same concept, it is just like if you just like the class inherits others like this one. So, it is the concept that inheritance also it is possible. Now, okay, so this is the idea about a brief idea about the inheritance, and we will discuss more about inheritance in our next module. Thank you.